But inshallah, it won't end anywhere. It will end in his removal from office come 2020. So we are not disturbed at all. We will get into the beef of this matter, but these are all procedural matters. But I have not had any situation where there is a criminal case without a complainant. I mean, if you are charged of assaulting somebody, the person you assault ordinarily will come and say that you have assaulted me.
A case has been made or is frivolous and vexatious. We just gave out the charges and the facts. The evidence will be led by witnesses in court and will be tendering documents. At the close of our case, it is at that stage they will be able to make a submission of no case to the Honorable Court to determine. But it's not for them at this stage, for them to have premature ejaculation. So we are not actually going to discuss the merits of the matter, but we are assuring you that we made a judgment, and that judgment was based on looking at the entire facts and circumstances of the matter before arriving at the charges that we have preferred against the accused persons. And we are confident of the fact that we will be able to provide evidence to back the charges that we have actually leveled against them.
In terms of the facts presented to the court, I mean, we heard the AG say that it was a communications team meeting. Any special reason why only 2 individuals are before the court?
Well, it is very clear that if you look at Article 19, it is very clear that we have freedom of speech and etc. But all those ones are subject to laws in our democratic dispensation. And so you can go to communicate anywhere, you can sit anywhere, but you cannot plan to commit a crime or a series of crimes and be made to get away with it under the guise of freedom of speech. And so that particular bit you are talking about, which was actually canvassed by counsel for the other side, we're going to look at it. And as I have indicated, we are not here to persecute anybody. As an Attorney General, she has made a judgment, and we are here to ensure that we prove the charges that have been leveled vis-a-vis the facts that we actually have and the pieces of evidence that we are going to adduce at the trial.
Is government not concerned about the perception prosecuting this case would create? I mean, this is the leader of the largest opposing party, your opponent in politics.
Then it means that what you are saying is that we should start amending our constitution to create a set of laws for the underprivileged and a set of laws for the privileged. Maybe that's what you are saying. And I don't think that is the type of nation we want to build. If the national chairman of the ruling party commits an offense, he ought to be tried. Simpliciter. No one is above the law. And the Constitution itself is very clear on this matter, that none of us is above the law. Okay? And so any person who falls foul of the law is made to face the law. If at the end of the day, the court finds you guilty or acquits you, that's the decision of the court. For us, we are not judging any matter, and we will never judge any matter before the judge passes judgment, because we are not competent to pass judgment on any case. It is the judge. And as I have indicated, no person in this country is above the law, and we are going to ensure that anything that is done is in compliance with the laws of the land.
The second accused person has denied being in that particular meeting you cited in your facts. And what's...
Well, that one will be decided in evidence. The evidence of the case that we are going to actually adumbrate or adduce will prove whether or not he was in the meeting. And whatever alibi they want to file, we are not contesting anything. But when it comes, we shall mount a defense to that effect. We are grateful.
A little investigation will show Boahen was nowhere at the NDC headquarters. So how in God's name would you proceed on the basis of these faulty assumptions, proceed to process him for courts? I do not understand it. And I want to beg the learned Attorney General that some of this fusojarism should stop. It is a very noble office of the Attorney General. I mean, how in God's name do you bring a citizen of this republic, prefer criminal charges against him, when a little investigation would have demonstrated to you that Boahen, per the fact you yourself read in court, on the 3rd day of February 2019, he was nowhere near the NDC headquarters.
The AG, in reading the facts of the case, makes the point that Mr. Boahen granted various media interviews in which he confirms being at the said meeting.
He never did. He never did. The AG herself did not. She herself never listened to that interview. In fact, it was in your studio.
Yeah, but in that interview, you said he was
he never. No.
being at the meeting?
No. And that is where we need to be very clear. Even a little investigation by you, the Attorney General, should show that it could not have been possible that the man was there. Just check his record in Kumasi on the 3rd day of February. And that is why we have indicated that we are going to put up the defense of alibi. And let's see how it proceeds. Please, this is a very serious republic. Look, we want peace, we want calmness for all the political actors in this country. So we'll continue to engage the democratic space so that our people, the best of ideas would always carry the day. But when you want to prosecute political figures associated with the opposition just to give a certain, encouragement to your base, I mean, with the greatest respect, this is a very serious office.